Imagine for a moment that your future is not some distant, predetermined path, but rather a canvas, waiting for the bold strokes of your actions today. Every single decision you make, no matter how small it seems, is like placing a brushstroke on that canvas. The question is, are you painting with intention or letting the world decide the picture for you? Change is not something that happens overnight, but it begins in a single moment. The moment you decide to take responsibility. Responsibility is not about blame. It's about owning your power. You are the architect of your life. And yes, there will be blueprints handed to you by society, by circumstances, by other people's expectations, but the pen is always in your hand. Let's face it, the future can feel daunting. It's easy to get stuck thinking about all the things you don't have or all the ways the odds are stacked against you. Why do you do what you do? It's a simple question, but often one of the hardest to answer. Most people can explain what they do or how they do it, but very few can clearly articulate why. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a signal that you're moving beyond what's familiar, and that's exactly where growth happens. Think about any significant achievement in your life. Chances are, it required you to push past fear, doubt, or resistance. It's the willingness to face that uneasiness, to sit with it instead of running from it, that sets the stage for progress. When you embrace discomfort, you learn to reframe it. Instead of seeing it as a threat, you begin to see it as an opportunity, a chance to test your limits and discover what you're truly capable of. Discomfort forces you to adapt, to think differently, and to develop resilience. It teaches you patience when results don't come immediately and courage when the path forward isn't clear. This mindset shift doesn't mean you have to seek out unnecessary struggles. It means you stop avoiding the necessary ones. It's about showing up for the tough moments instead of retreating. Yet this why is the foundation of everything. It's what gives your actions meaning and fuels your ability to persist when things get tough. Without a clear sense of purpose, even the best laid plans can feel directionless. Your why is not about making money, gaining recognition, or meeting external expectations. It goes deeper. It's the reason you get out of bed in the morning. It's the driving force that keeps you moving forward even when no one else is watching. Defining your why requires introspection, honesty, and sometimes a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about what truly matters to you. When you know your why, it becomes a compass. It guides your decisions, aligns your actions with your values, and helps you filter out distractions. It's the difference between simply working and working with passion, between achieving and finding fulfillment. Your why is what sustains you in the face of obstacles, reminding you that the struggle has a purpose. It's not just about the destination, but about creating a journey that feels worth taking. Finding this purpose is not something you figure out overnight. It's a process of self-discovery. Pay attention to the moments that make you feel most alive. What excites you? What challenges do you care about solving? What kind of impact do you want to have on the people and the world around you? These are clues, and as you piece them together, you'll begin to uncover the deeper motivations that can change the way you approach everything in your life. Defining your why is not just about looking inward, it's also about looking outward. It's about understanding how your purpose connects to others, to the world, and to something bigger than yourself. When you act with a clear purpose, the energy and confidence you bring are contagious. People don't just hear what you say, they feel the conviction behind it. Embrace discomfort. It's not something we're naturally inclined to do. As humans, we seek comfort, safety, and certainty. It's wired into us. Yet, growth and change are impossible without stepping into discomfort. The very things we try to avoid, the awkward conversations, the uncertain outcomes, the unfamiliar challenges, are often the gateways to the transformation we seek. Whether it's taking on a challenge that intimidates you, being vulnerable in a way that feels risky, or committing to a change that disrupts your routine, these moments of discomfort are where the magic happens. The beauty of embracing discomfort is that it gets easier with time. The more you face it, the more you realize it's not as overwhelming as it seems. You begin to trust yourself to handle uncertainty and push through challenges. Over time, the very things that once made you uncomfortable become the things that empower you. And in that space, you find the strength to keep changing your future. The power of perspective can change everything. How you view the world, your challenges, and your circumstances shapes your reality far more than the circumstances themselves. It's not the events in your life that define your future, it's the meaning you attach to them and the mindset you choose to carry forward. You also have the power to borrow perspective from others. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and encourage you to see things differently. Often someone else's belief in your potential can remind you of what you're capable of, even when you've forgotten it yourself. And sometimes stepping back and seeing the bigger picture allows you to appreciate just how far you've come, even if the journey feels slow. Ultimately, perspective is a choice, and it's a daily practice of asking better questions. What can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? What opportunities might this challenge reveal? When you shift the way you see the world, you shift the way you show up in it. And that shift has the power to change your future in ways you never thought possible. Focus on consistency over intensity. White focus. It's tempting to believe that big changes require dramatic efforts, but the truth is, transformation is built on small, steady actions repeated over time. Grand gestures might feel powerful in the moment, but it's the quiet, consistent efforts, the ones that often go unnoticed, that create lasting results. Perspective is the lens through which you see possibility or limitation. It determines whether a failure is the end of the road or the beginning of a new opportunity. Think about it. Two people can face the same obstacle, but while one feels defeated, the other sees it as a stepping stone. The difference lies in how they frame the situation. Perspective transforms a setback into a lesson, a rejection into redirection, and a moment of adversity into a moment of growth. Shifting your perspective doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It means choosing to see beyond them. It's about looking for what you can learn, how you can adapt, and where you can find opportunity, even in the face of difficulty. Perspective empowers you to take control of your narrative instead of being at the mercy of your circumstances. Think about the progress you've made in any area of your life. Was it a single burst of effort that brought you success, or was it the accumulation of many small, intentional actions? Whether it's improving your health, mastering a skill, or building meaningful relationships, consistency is what makes the difference. It's not about how much you can do in one day, but about what you choose to do every day. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Each time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in your own ability to change. This self-trust becomes the foundation for tackling bigger challenges and pursuing larger goals. Over time, the momentum you build from consistent effort becomes unstoppable, carrying you forward even on the days when motivation feels hard to find. The beauty of focusing on consistency is that it removes the pressure to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once, and you don't need to get it right every time. What matters is showing up again and again, even when it feels difficult or inconvenient. Those small, steady steps might not seem significant in the moment, but they add up in ways that are often invisible until you look back and realize just how far you've come. Intensity can create sparks, but consistency builds a fire. It's about doing the work, even when it's unglamorous, and trusting that the process will yield results. When you commit to steady effort over time, you not only create change, you create a new version of yourself, one that's equipped to keep growing no matter what challenges the future holds. Surround yourself with support, because no one achieves meaningful change alone. The people you choose to have in your life can either propel you forward or hold you back. They shape your mindset, your habits, and even your beliefs about what's possible. That's why it's essential to be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. Support isn't just about having cheerleaders who encourage you. It's about being surrounded by people who challenge you to grow, who hold you accountable, and who inspire you to aim higher. These are the individuals who see potential in you that you might not yet see in yourself. They're the ones who push you to step out of your comfort zone and remind you of your why when you start to lose sight of it. And at the same time, support also means creating environments that nurture your growth. It's not just about people, it's about the energy you surround yourself with. Books, podcasts, communities, and even the spaces you spend your time in can either uplift or drain you. Seek out places and resources that align with the future you want to create. Be mindful of how these influences shape your mindset and decisions. This doesn't mean you should avoid challenges or difficult conversations. True support isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about having people and environments that equip you to face it with strength. It's about knowing that even in your hardest moments, you have others who believe in your ability to overcome and thrive. Remember, support is a two-way street. As much as you benefit from the energy and encouragement of others, you also have the opportunity to be that support for someone else. When you contribute to the growth of others, you reinforce your own growth. Together, you create a network of shared strength and purpose, where everyone rises higher because no one is left behind. This collective energy has the power to amplify your efforts and carry you toward a future you never imagined. Act with patience and courage. Change doesn't happen overnight, and the path to a different future isn't always linear. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question whether the effort is worth it, and days when progress feels painfully slow. But in those moments, patience is your ally. The seeds you plant today may take time to sprout, and the results you're working toward will often take longer than you expect to materialize. Patience isn't about waiting passively. It's about staying committed and trusting the process. It's about showing up, consistently putting in the work, even when the immediate results aren't visible. Change, after all, is a gradual evolution. Just as a tree doesn't grow overnight, the foundation of your future is built step by step, day by day. The patience you cultivate along the way enables you to weather the inevitable setbacks and disappointments that come with striving for something greater. At the same time, patience alone is not enough. You also need courage. The courage to face uncertainty, to take risks, and to step into the unknown. It's easy to stay in a familiar place, even if it's uncomfortable. But change requires bravery, the willingness to take that first step without knowing exactly where it will lead. It takes courage to stand up for the future you want, especially when others may doubt you or when the road ahead looks unclear. This doesn't mean you should avoid challenges or difficult conversations. True support isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about having people and environments that equip you to face it with strength. It's about knowing that even in your hardest moments, you have others who believe in your ability to overcome and thrive. Remember, support is a two-way street. As much as you benefit from the energy and encouragement of others, you also have the opportunity to be that support for someone else. When you contribute to the growth of others, you reinforce your own growth. Together, you create a network of shared strength and purpose where everyone rises higher because no one is left behind. This collective energy has the power to amplify your efforts and carry you toward a future you never imagined. Act with patience and courage. Change doesn't happen overnight, and the path to a different future isn't always linear. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question whether the effort is worth it, and days when progress feels painfully slow. But in those moments, patience is your ally. The seeds you plant today may take time to sprout, and the results you're working toward will often take longer than you expect to materialize. The other thing is that patience isn't about waiting passively. It's about staying committed and trusting the process. It's about showing up, consistently putting in the work, even when the immediate results aren't visible. Change, after all, is a gradual evolution. Just as a tree doesn't grow overnight, the foundation of your future is built step by step, day by day. The patience you cultivate along the way enables you to weather the inevitable setbacks and disappointments that come with striving for something greater. At the same time, patience alone is not enough. You also need courage. The courage to face uncertainty, to take risks, and to step into the unknown. It's easy to stay in a familiar place, even if it's uncomfortable. But change requires bravery. the willingness to take that first step without knowing exactly where it will lead. It takes courage to stand up for the future you want, especially when others may doubt you or when the road ahead looks unclear. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid, it means you act despite the fear. It's about trusting that you have the strength to navigate the challenges that lie ahead, and that, even if things don't go as planned, you have the resilience to adapt and keep going. Courage is what pushes you to move forward when everything inside you wants to retreat, to keep going when others might stop. Together, patience and courage form a powerful combination. Patience allows you to endure the inevitable delays and setbacks, while courage pushes you to take the leaps of faith necessary for change. The balance between the two is what keeps you grounded and driven, knowing that the journey is as important as the destination, and that, with enough time and enough courage, you will shape the future you've envisioned. As you stand at the threshold of your future, remember this: the power to change your life lies within you, in every choice you make and every action you take. It begins with understanding your why, your purpose, and using it to fuel every step forward. It grows with the small actions you take every day, no matter how insignificant they might seem. Embrace the discomfort, because it's only in pushing beyond your limits that you will discover your true potential. Shift your perspective and see challenges as opportunities. Commit to consistency, knowing that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Build your support system, those who lift you up, challenge you, and inspire you. And finally, remember that patience and courage are your companions on this journey. The third thing is, deepen your mind before you first. Change takes time and it requires bravery, but it is always within reach if you're willing to stay the course. The future is not a distant place you are waiting to reach. It's being created right now, with every thought, every decision, and every action. Take charge of it one small step at a time and watch how the future you desire begins to unfold. Your future isn't defined by where you've been or where you are today. It's shaped by what you do from this moment forward. If you're interested in learning more about the steps and programs that have changed their lives, shaped by what you do from this moment forward, so step forward with purpose and create the future that's waiting for you.